Next on Done in a Weekend Projects, we're helping you turn your backyard into the ultimate game and gathering space. Hey everyone, it's Doug Scott with Redeem Your Ground. And once again, I've joined up with our friends at Exmark to do another Done in a Weekend Projects video. What do the best backyard gatherings have in common? Good food? That's a given. Great company? Absolutely. But there's usually something else going on. A game, a little healthy competition. A reason everyone wants to stick around just a little bit longer. Today we're showing you how to create a dedicated backyard game space that keeps the fun going long after the sun goes down. To bring it to life, we're using a game called Cube, a traditional Swedish game that blends bowling and horseshoes and is an absolute blast to play. Now, even if you've never played or even heard of Cube, don't worry. We've linked the rules and all the how-tos in the description below. The goal isn't to create a space for just one game. We're crafting an area that works for cornhole, bocce, croquet, maybe even a little backyard football. Think of it as building the stage. The games are the show, which means we need to factor in the audience too. I mean, what's a sport without their fans? Let's start with the decision that makes or breaks everything, and that's location. The one non-negotiable is flat ground. Most yard games simply don't work on a slope. You might be able to work with a slight grade, but a steep hill guarantees way more chasing than playing. Beyond that, some natural shade during peak playing hours from trees or a nearby structure goes a long way. But of course, your yard is your yard, so work with what you've got. Cube only requires a 16 by 26 foot area, so it's great if you're pressed for space. But if you want larger games, I recommend you aim for a 40 foot by 60 foot area. While scouting, think about two things: proximity and potential hazards. Keep it close enough to the house that no one's making a long trek for a drink or bathroom break, but far enough that a late night game isn't carrying into any bedrooms. Watch out for overhead lines, exposed roots, or fences that might cut the game short. Also, pay attention to where people naturally gather in your yard. Your space should feel like an extension of that, not something guests have to go looking for. Get the placement right, and it does the inviting for you. With your location locked in, let's talk seating. If you want flexibility, and most of us do, a few Adirondack chairs with a side table gives you a conversation cluster that you can move around as needed. Make sure to orient them so that the sun is behind your spectators during prime playing hours. Nobody wants to watch a Cube match while squinting through the afternoon rays. For a more permanent setup, simple benches along the perimeter are hard to beat. And just outside the perimeter, a fire pit with surrounding seating serves double duty. It's the perfect pre- and post-game hangout and a spot for fans to gather when the court is busy. Any game space is only as good as its organization, and the real key is accessibility. If your gear is across the yard in a garage, the games just don't happen spontaneously. But when everything is right there, ready to go, game on. Here's the way I think about it. This comes down to your backyard's personality. If your space is more laid back, something as simple as a plastic storage bench is hard to beat. It's practical, and it keeps everything right where you need it. Or, if it has a more defined look, choose storage that fits it. And before adding anything new, look at what you already have. Some pegboard, wall hooks, or shelving can create free space out of thin air. Just make sure it's close enough to your game space to actually be convenient. Next up, lighting. Good lighting extends your playing well into the night. Even a simple string of lights or some solar lanterns around the perimeter can make a huge difference. Whatever you choose, keep the light warm and out of the player's eyes. If you go with string lights overhead, just make sure they're at least 10 feet up and won't interfere with the games being played. Layer in solar lanterns around the perimeter and a lit path connecting the space back to your patio, and you're in great shape. And that lit path matters more than you might think. It's a safety feature, sure, but it's also an invitation that says something's happening over there. Get that right, and your space is just as inviting after dark as it is during the day. Finally, landscaping. This is what takes the space from a patch of grass with some equipment to an actual outdoor room. Frame the space with low shrubs or ornamental grasses along the sides for a little bit of privacy. Plant them well outside the playing area and avoid anything thorny along the perimeter. Trust me, you don't want a ball or a guest rolling into a rose bush. And the most important point of all, you don't have to do all of this all at once. Plan for it from the start, but add things over time as you get a feel for how you use the space. Once you've crafted a backyard game space that fits you and your lifestyle, there's only one thing left to do. Play, and maybe learn how to play Cube while you're at it. For more Done in a Weekend projects videos, head to exmark.com/backyard for all the lawn care and DIY content you need to keep living your best backyard life. And for a deeper dive into building your own backyard game space and the rules of Cube, check out the description below. Thanks for watching. Take care.